of that day 40 years ago when Mom faced labor twice in one day, a small price to pay for the decades that followed. I know that you were relieved when I was finally born, not just because labor ended, but also because of at least one of the two was handsome.
One of the two is what?
I like that one.
One of the two is what?
Handsome.
Is there a pause?
Little did you realize that even then, as now, there was one hairy one and one bald one. It is time to look back and set the record straight. There are a few things that you should know. First, Jack was really the one who actually wrote J-I-M in red crayon all over the right side door of the garage on Dolores Street. That is 2725 Dolores.
Rat face.
Second, the stories about me almost burning down Sutter School are over-exaggerated.
It was just a small portion.
It was only a large barrel full of 2x4 boards. After that, Dad, in his English Ford, had to come and extinguish. Third, 1995. Third, I really think Debbie Underwood liked Jack more than me in kindergarten. I also think Carol Lynch actually had a crush on Jack, literally. The reality was...
Crush is the word.
The reality was, her mom threw great parties, catered, and there was always plenty of food. Jack liked that. Fourth, Jack and I almost beat an Ignacio Valley doubles team for Antioch's only win that year. We played two brothers who were angrily fighting back throughout the match. We encouraged them, but they eventually caught on and beat us. We knew a lot about brotherly love. Fifth.
We actually did beat him one game in the Ignacio Valley. Our only win in Ignacio Valley.
Fifth, someone asked me what it was like to be a twin. This was in college. I said, "It's great. We're able to help each other out." She said, "Really? Like how?" I said, "Well, I had a project to make shin guards out of an old tire, and he helped me by bringing in his skill saw. I would never have been able to do it without him." She smiled and said, "And what sort of things did you do for him?" I couldn't think of anything. Sixth, when you are a twin, you really feel things as if they are happening to you instead of happening to your twin. I remember the last Little League game of the season, a playoff game. The last inning, 2 outs, and Jack was up. I was so nervous for him. Gary Elizondo was pitching. He was so fast. His pitches could probably kill you. All of a sudden, Jack bunted with 2 outs and got on base. I couldn't believe it. I was so overcome with emotion that I started to cry, and then I got up to bat. I struck out and the game was over. Yes! Seventh, remember when I just take this with a grain of salt. Remember when I used to call you gorgeous? You earned that title. Wear it proudly, my dear son. Chris calls me Daddy Jim Bob, and I earned that title too. Bob. Daddy Jim Bob!
That's probably better than
Hey, Jack and I really have a lot in common, and it has not taken 40 years to see that. Even when we were 8 years old, we both loved demolition derby car. 20 years later, he built one and scored 86 points by demolishing the other cars. That same year or so, I totaled a car on the freeway and got my dear wife to roll and total another one. The insurance company sent us a letter a little later that year acknowledging the hefty claim they paid and suggested we drive more carefully. Ninth, we actually are a lot alike. You did wonders with us. You taught us to really be individuals. So we are. But we both really love our beautiful wives and you, and Dad taught us to be a real team as parents. Jack and I both love our kids too.
Aww.
Lastly, Mom and Dad, we thank you. You did a fantastic job. It took a lot of courage, we know, eating Spam and all. I always felt support from you both. You drove us everywhere. You scrimped to get a pool membership. We thought we were in heaven at the C Street pool. You gave us real values to live by. We didn't have to learn to become parents. We had you as really terrific role models. Jack and I want to thank you both with all our love. Happy birthday. Love, Jim.
I love Hooray for Jeremy!
Well, I guess the roast is off. Anyway,